I started blaming myself for it. You blame yourself for it. You take accountability, your closing ratio is going to go higher. But until you come to the office and you say, I didn't sell it because it was their fault, I didn't sell it because they didn't have checks with them, I didn't sell it because they didn't have account, I didn't sell it because they didn't have money, I didn't sell it because they wanted to think about it, I didn't sell it because they didn't turn 65, you will leave your life with having a low closing ratio. But if you take accountability, you will see how much your closing ratio is going to go higher. Does that sound good? Okay. It's 8:20. One thing I want to go through is, I'm going to go through it quickly, is my personal story. I want to tell you my personal story so that when you go to the client's house, you can, who made a personal story after I taught the class last week? Is it working better for you guys in the house?
I haven't used it yet.
Okay. Your personal story has to build trust, has to build credibility. If it doesn't have those two things, and your personal story, if your personal story does not have these two things, you're not selling. If you don't have a personal story, you're not selling. Okay? So, my personal story is, Mr. Alex, long time ago when I was around the age of 12, 13, and those of you who heard it last week, you know that I'm going to use the exact words that I used last time. Mr. Alex, long time ago when I was around the age of 12, 13 years old, my father passed away. And he was a very young man. He was only 51 years old, never smoked, never drank, always exercised in the morning. The only thing he had in his life where a lot of us can relate to is a lot of stress. And because of a lot of stress, one day he came home, he said, I'm going to go to sleep, and he never woke up from that sleep again. I never forget, the day before, he gave me a call and he said, Ali, I'm sorry if I wasn't the best father in the world for you. I remember when he was alive, the number one conversation that I used to have with my father was, Ali, I want you to be an independent person. I want you to become successful. I want you to be somebody so that the community can look up to you. Okay? And I grew up with that mentality. I taught it from my father, and I grew up with that mentality. He was a very affluent man. He had a bus manufacturing company. So all the buses that you would see in the city over here, back in my country, all the buses in the city would be from his bus manufacturing company. So when he passed away, he had a good amount of legacy left out for me, my older brother, and my oldest sister. A few years later, my brother came to me and he said, Ali, I can either give you this money that Dad has left out for you, and you can have your own life, or you can invest it with me into a business, and whatever we get, we can share. I never forget when I told my brother, buddy, take the money for yourself, and whatever you get, keep it for yourself as well. So I grew up, I went to college, I graduated from accounting degree. I started working in Bank of America as a branch manager. After 2 years of working in Bank of America, I said to myself, helping people with their checking accounts is fantastic. But why don't I help people way beyond just their checking accounts and help them with their lives? So I started working in the insurance business. And I started working as an insurance agent, worked my way up to a manager, and I have a fantastic career that I love. Every day I wake up because it drives me to help people. A lot of people think it was the opportunity that changed in my life that I became so successful in this business. But it was more the blessing that changed in my life. In the Bible it says, when you give, you get. And the amount of value that I give to my clients is tremendous. And how much I get blessings back in my life is what made me successful in this business. Okay? And I say, the first thing my clients do when I give them a call is they say, Ali, I'm keeping you in my prayers. And it makes me feel so good knowing that I brought such a good value to my client's house that they keep me in their prayers. And then I tell them, it feels so good that I can come to my client's house and change their lives, touch their hearts, put them in a better position in their life, give them a peace of mind. And I would ask for you to keep me in your prayers as well. But one thing I do want to tell you is whether I give you information about Medicare today, or I help you with a life insurance, or a long-term care, or a Medicare supplement, I want to tell you one thing. If you want to do business with a typical insurance agent with a typical insurance policy, I'm definitely not the one you want to do business with. But if you want to do business with somebody who's part of your life, who's going to be there to help you at every single point of your life, you can definitely rely on me. And I say, listen, you can literally call me from saying, Ali, I'm craving Chinese food, bring me some Chinese food, to calling me and say, Ali, I got some questions about my Medicare. Come to my house right now. Ali, I got some questions about that life insurance policy that you wrote for me. Come to my house right now, and I'm going to be one phone call away from you. See, the difference between me and other insurance agents or other companies is that you don't call a 1-800 number and do English for number one and dos for Espanol. You call me. You call my cell phone number. I'm going to be there to help you out. I'm going to be there at every point of your life to help you out. And also with this policy, it's going to cover you up to age 121. Two things are going to be for free on your policy: accelerated death benefit and accidental death benefits. Also, it's going to be tax-free, probate-free. And plus, you're going to do business with a company that has been around for 136 years. With that being said, I'm going to ask you some health questions. And after I ask you the health questions, I'm going to go through 3 options, and I want you to pick the one that most fit in your budget and mostly is beneficial for you to take care of your necessities. Those of you who have been in my class last week, did that change? Did one word change from my last presentation that I gave you guys last week? It's the same, right? Nothing changed about it. Nothing changed about it. I said it fast because I want to go through some important stuff, but I can definitely go over it other times as well. So what you want to do in your personal story, one thing that I said in my personal story is when you give, you get. You want to show that. You want to do that in your personal story. You want to say that. I say I became an independent person. I want to tell them that I am successful in this business. I want to tell them that I'm a man of integrity. What I say is what I do. Tell them. Put this in your personal story. Tell them, listen, I'm a man of integrity. What I say is what I do. And when I tell you that I want to be here for the rest of your life to help you out with this, I'm saying it because I want to do it. Not because it's my job to do it. I feel responsible to do it because I want to be a part of your life. I don't want to just be an insurance agent for you. I tell them how I got into the insurance business. Did any of you guys pay attention to that? How I transited and why I came to the insurance business? The reason why you want to tell them you came to the insurance business because you wanted to help people with their lives, not because you wanted to make money. I didn't say I came from banking business to insurance business because I want to make money on you. I said I came from banking business to insurance business because I said to myself that I want to help people way beyond their checking accounts. I want to help people with their lives, touch their hearts, change their lives, put them in a better position before I walked into their houses. You see what I'm saying? Who in here had customer service background? Okay. What kind of background? Give me one volunteer. What kind of background did you guys have? One volunteer, other than customer service. Yes, sir.
National sales manager.
National sales manager. Okay. Sales manager for
Credit card process.
Credit card process. Fantastic. So the reason why I came into the insurance business is because I was a national sales manager in that company. But I said to myself, rather than helping people with their credit cards, I want to help them way beyond just their credit cards and help them with their lives. Change their lives, touch their hearts, put them in a better position than I've walked in before. Put them in a better peace of mind, rather than just give them a credit card. You know, giving credit cards to people is a great peace of mind. But rather, I want to give that peace of mind to their children. Knowing that if God forbid something happens to you, your children would be okay. Your children would be in a peace of mind. Does that sound good?
Sounds good to me.
Very good. You can use that in your personal story.
I think you should.
So, any other volunteer? You want to throw me a job background you have?
Psychology.
Psychology. Okay. You know, before I came to this business, I was a psychologist, and I help people a lot, giving them advices on what's best in their lives. Okay. But I thought to myself, what if I can help people way beyond just psychology? Rather than giving them advices, why don't I just help them with something in front of them, right on the table, give them a peace of mind, change their lives, touch their hearts, put them in a better position in their lives. You know, when I was a psychologist, it was fantastic when I gave advices to people. People always came to me and they said, thank you so much for helping me. Okay? But I thought to myself, psychology is more a hobby for me than a career. And I thought to myself, what if I can do that for people just by free? By not even charging them. When I sell a life insurance policy, you know what? I can give you psychology advices. I'm going to put that for free on your policy. How about that? With some Chinese food on it. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. So, You want to build credibility. You want to give them a reason why you came to the insurance business. Okay? Now, when you get to the closing part, you don't want to ask questions on closing. Okay? What you want to do is, I'm going to ask you some health questions. And after the health questions, I'm going to show you 3 options. And after the 3 options, I want you to pick the one that is most beneficial for you. I didn't ask him any question. I said, I want you to. Because I'm in control. Okay? You close policies. Right now, I'm teaching you how to close policies without asking questions.
Could you repeat that last thing you started with? I'm going to
ask you some health questions. That's a close. Right there. You don't ask them, do you want me to ask you some health questions? So that, do you want me to show you 3 options? So that, do you want me to write your beneficiary's name? No, I'm going to ask you some health questions. After that, I'm going to show you 3 options. And after the 3 options, I want you to pick the one that is most beneficial and mostly within your budget. Why do you want to say mostly within your budget? 1, because you want to build the credibility that you're not there to bump them up on payments. 2, because you don't want to charge back on your accounts. So, when I get into a life insurance policy and after I ask them the health questions, I don't even show them 3 options. Before I show them 3 options, I say, what's your beneficiary's name? The reason why I do that is, how do I know that I have a sell in the house? I hear a lot of you saying, what if you don't sell in the house? No, what if you sell in the house by closing the deal without asking questions? You don't ask questions, you don't close. You don't ask questions, you will close. Okay? So, after I ask them the health questions, let's say a life insurance policy, I say, and the reason why I use example for life insurance policy is because most of us, especially as brand new agents, would focus on easy issue life insurance policies. So I say, what's the most primary beneficiary that you want to put on this policy? Before showing them any numbers, what's the most primary? And I'm not even looking at them. I'm not looking at them into their eyes. If I look at them into their eyes, I'm giving them the chance to give me an objection. If I say, Mr. Payam, what's the name of your beneficiary, and I look at him like that, I'm giving me a chance for him to give me an objection. But rather than that, I say, what's your primary beneficiary's name? And I wait. If they pause on me for 10 minutes, I'm pausing like this for 10 minutes until they gave me the beneficiary's name. I don't bring my head up. I bring my head up, I'm giving them a chance to give me objections. Okay? And then I say, listen, I can put a second person as a contingent. Contingent means if God forbid something happens to your primary beneficiary before you, then the money will go to your contingent. I get them involved with questions. You want to get them involved. When I was in the car business, when I went for a test drive with a customer, when they came back from a test drive, I would leave the keys in their hands. I would leave. They would be handing it to me, and I would say, no, just keep it. Just keep it in your hands right now. Why do I want to do that? Because I want them to feel the car. I want them to feel that they own the car by holding the keys in their hands. Same thing in the insurance. I want them to feel that they own the insurance policy by asking the beneficiary's name, by getting them involved in the beneficiary's questions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So after I ask the questions, I show them the 3 options. I shut up, I wait for them to answer. Once they answer, I circle it around. I say, how do you spell your first name? And that's how I close. Did I ask any questions? I'm just as confident as I am right now when I'm in the client's house. If you mumble, you're not selling. If you're quiet, if your tone of voice is low, you will not sell. All of these have to be backed up with a lot of confidence. If it's not backed up with a lot of confidence, they will throw you objections. They will say no to you. If you ask yourself, what if I don't sell? Okay? You will sell in the house if you do everything that I'm telling you, being backed up with a lot of confidence. How to overcome objections. As new insurance agents, you're going to get objections in the house. This is a huge part that you want to pay attention to. You want to write these down, okay? I learned this in Winner's Edge. After being in the business for 3 or 4 months, you go to a company's program that's called Winner's Edge, and it's called pivoting. You ask them 2 consequence questions, make them face the reality, and you ask them 2 positive questions.